Tonight, on Mysterious Mysteries of Strange Mystery, we take a look at the YouTube series Only Nice Things, the review show that has a built-in drinking game.
Hey, I'm Zero, and this is Only Nice Things, the show that punishes negative opinions with alcohol. I'm dressed up like Dib Membrane, and today we're going to talk about Invader Zim, Enter the Florpus.
It's been years since we last saw Zim and Gir, but now the alien and robot duo have resurfaced. And they're doing stretches!
Nobody stretches like that unless they're warming up for evil!
It's now up to Dib and his sister Gaz to stop Zim and the evil Irkin Empire from taking over the Earth. Will Dib be able to get back in shape to take on his alien adversary? Will he also be able to convince his father, Professor Membrane, that aliens do exist? And finally, will Zim even remember Phase 2 of his plan?
Wait! Was that Phase 2?
Of course it was! Probably. You know what? Now I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, and what's a Florpus?
Now let's say some nice things about this film.
Invader Zim is back and looks as pink and purple as ever, thanks to a Netflix budget and shiny HD visuals. Anyone not familiar with the original show can still enjoy this, since the opening anime-inspired sequence quickly sums up the basic premise.
Disguised as one of us, he moved into my neighborhood, and with the help of his vile, mechanical servants, plotted to destroy everything we have. And then, he vanished.
I love that they kept the show's warped, almost distorted look and all the abundance of its alien technology.
Throughout the story, the backgrounds bounce from exaggerated perspectives to being filled to the brim with mechanical oddities. When realities start colliding towards the end of the film, the screen gets so overloaded with constantly shifting art styles that you'll want to go back to see the different versions. There's also an animator inside joke that was perfectly up my alley.
It never gets old seeing these characters constantly engage in battles of wit using hilariously absurd exaggerations.
Jared Dib is a grotesque sight to behold, but Zim definitely steals the show with all his silly emotes and condescending victory poses.
The movie cranks up the crude and non-sequitur style of humor, but it could still play alongside other Nickelodeon cartoons.
They never miss an opportunity to visually bombard you with gross-out visuals or hit you with jokes that conveniently come out of nowhere. One of the things that Jhonen Vasquez does so well is have gags that seem inconsequential, but then calls back to it later so it feels integral. This helps it from turning into something that just happens randomly for a cheap laugh.
Leprechaun cat, no!
I also like Jhonen's very cynical approach to depicting all the intelligence of the non-essential characters.
You can't help but laugh at how easily everyone is duped by Zim's human disguises, or their failure to see all his obviously evil intentions.
Buy my bracelet and get ready for the most peaceful East Day your grotesque eyeballs have ever seen! The bracelet comes in 4 colors!
The voice actors really help sell the jokes that go way over the top, and the reactions that come along with it.
Richard Steven Horvitz sounds like he's having a blast, mechanically laughing his head off as Invader Zim. He's got this infectious cackle that really grows on you as he constantly undermines Dib and annoys him any chance he can get.
You're gonna have to speak up!
You won't get away!
What?
Andy Berman perfects the neutered cries of Dib, and Roger Bumpus plays blissful ignorance so well as his science-focused father, Professor Membrane.
Behold, my boy child! I can't remember the last time I saw you this excited about science!
Huh?
Well, that's it for the Only Nice Things portion of the show. If you're sensitive to negative comments or criticisms, you'll probably just want to leave now. Otherwise, stay tuned for the drinking game. Cheers. While the main cast all sounded great in the movie, I couldn't stand the newly introduced character Clembrain, the Professor Membrane clone created by Zim.
Series creator Jhonen Vasquez said that he did not want actors who were just capable of zany voices because it sounded less natural to him when casting for the TV show.
Is something the matter, honey?
Oddly enough, he casted himself as his character, and it's pretty obvious he's doing an obnoxious voice.
No, booty guy, I'm taking care of it. These my kids and science and stuff.
Anytime Clembrain was on screen and started rambling, I felt nothing but annoyance, and just wanted him to be sucked into the Florpus.
That's a terrible thing to say, son.
Damn it, this is gonna be rough. Ooh, okay. Zim! So I did say earlier that there's some good non-sequitur jokes that tie back into the plot. The ones that don't come across as a little too out of left field sometimes.
Horvit's laughter and confusion really help sell these gags, but why peanuts?
Wait, are those peanuts?
I guess it's a slight callback to the Voting of the Doomed episode, but it's still pretty random.
Almost done. Almost there. I'm pretty disappointed that they couldn't write in Zim and Dib's I'm pretty disappointed that they couldn't write in Zim and Dib's teacher from the TV show, Miss Bitters.
Understandably, her character doesn't really work in the plot of this film, but her demonic presence was such a dour delight, and her nihilistic shaming always put a strange smile on my face.
Children, your performance was miserable. Your parents will all receive phone calls instructing them to love you less now.
Maybe it's because she reminded Maybe it's because she reminded me of the nuns that reprimanded me in grade school, but she will be greatly missed. Doom 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 da doom 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 da doom da doom doom. Time to tally up the drinking score. As you can see, I've had 10 drinks. 10. 10. 10? No. 10. 10 drinks. Despite the negatives, I was pleasantly surprised by... No, that's not right. Despite the negatives, I really liked Invader Zim enter the Florpus. I was pleasantly surprised to see one of my childhood cartoons get a modern day makeover.
I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a proper ending to the show or the start of a new series, but I hope this isn't the last time we get to see Zim's futile attempts at taking over the Earth. I'm sure fans would love another opportunity to eat waffles with Zim and Gir.
And as soon as I'm done with these waffles, I will discuss my evil plan.
Well, that's it for Only Nice Things. Thanks for watching, and come drink with me next time. It's a lot of alcohol.